I really am looking at families becoming more united, mind, body, and spirit, and then relationally.
Do you think the government's overstepped?
Absolutely. I want to tell a parent when I sit with them, like, who told you that they had your child's best interest? So why would you leave your kids with them the majority of the day? Because this is what the good parent does. And that's what they have put into people, to society, really. They put it into the heart and mind of people that they know it's best. And it's a lie.
All right, guys. AmFest Day 3. EmmaSara here today. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you.
Yeah, how's the event been for you?
It's phenomenal. This is a place to be if you are into freedom and fighting for that freedom. It's definitely a place to be.
Absolutely. Do you live in Phoenix?
I know, but it used to be a second home. We used to vacation here every year, but I live in Alabama.
Okay, Alabama.
Yes.
Wow, I did not expect that answer.
I was originally from California. So
okay, that's a big change.
This is a later in life thing. Yes.
Yeah. You couldn't handle the liberal policies over there?
Actually, when I left California, I had just gotten married and moved to Greece. So it was more like, just starting my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Greece. I've been to Crete and Athens.
Okay, great.
When I was a kid, when I was a young boy, but it was a good time.
Nice. One of my kids was born in Greece.
Oh yeah?
I would live there for 3 years.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the best food I've ever had has been in Greece.
Gosh. Yes. I came back cooking it for a while there, and then I forgot, so I need to go back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. No seed oils.
Thank you for reminding me that.
Yeah.
Yes, olive oil.
Best olive oil I've ever had.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, we were getting it straight from the tap in Greece.
When I first got married, I went over there, and my husband was in the military, and I used to just go float all day in the sea and go on all the tavernas, and it was pretty cool. All the historical sites.
Were you traveling a lot because your husband was military?
Yes, I was island hopping and doing all that thing.
Yeah.
Yes, it was cool.
How was that?
Amazing. It was phenomenal. I never got to see Santorini. If I could go back, I wish I would have, hit that.
You still got time?
Yeah, I do. That's true.
So your big mission now is connecting people, right? Uniting people together.
Yes, as family specifically. I have a family of 10. I have 8 kids.
Wow.
From the ages of 6 to 25.
Holy crap.
And I always say God had a sense of humor and wanted to show that through EmmaSara's life. I was a woman who never wanted to have kids, told my fiance, no kids in your future. He said, okay. Year later, he was like, I kind of want kids. And I was like, well, you're kind of a liar. So, and at that time, I didn't know everything that I do now. So I had a different mindset. But one thing I haven't changed about myself then is that I didn't want to have kids because I thought the world was too evil. And it is. And so it was more from a protection mindset. And when he changed his mind, I had to do some soul searching, a lot of praying. And I really just felt like God put it in my heart that it wasn't that he wasn't doing his job to protect kids. It was that parents weren't being aware enough.
Yeah.
And so really early on, I made the decision, if I'm going to have kids, then I'm going to do my best to protect them. And so now I've raised these 8 kids who, are my co-hosts to my TV show, Ignite Voices, where we host political figures, influencers, different people of all walks of life in a commonality, fighting for freedom.
That's awesome. Yeah, 8 kids is rare these days. I feel like baby boomers, that was more normal, but I haven't heard anyone of our era like having 8 kids.
Yeah, and I mean, and then there's a stigma, if you think about big families, you're thinking about a specific kind of homely looking family, but we kind of break every single mold, and I kind of like it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of molds, right? And they're trying to break the family unit. That's been under attack the past few years.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think for decades, not decades, really. I mean, yes, decades for sure. But the indoctrination of the school is real. And part of that indoctrination and part of the plan, I would say, of public education was to make people feel like the government was supreme over children, to the point where we're at a place in society where everybody is so disconnected. And within us, there's something that's beyond us that we want to be a part of something, or it's gotten to the place where government is disconnected people from their mind, body, and spirit. It's like a disconnected of a person. We're supposed to be whole. And when people are mentally sick or they're physically sick, they need somebody to help them. So I feel like the government has gotten people so sick and disconnected with themselves, disconnected with their children. Parents are disconnected with their children. The government's come in and said, like, we are the ones that have the answers to your problems. We have the education, we have the health, take these vax. This is the curriculum for you. And so this year going into 2025, I really am looking at families becoming more united, mind, body, and spirit, and then relationally.
Do you think the government's overstepped?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to tell a parent when I sit with them, like, who told you that they had your child's best interests in their mind? Who told you that they know what's best for your children. They don't know what's best for your children, and they don't have.
Shout out to today's sponsor, Prolon. If starting the year with a fast feels a little daunting, you're not alone. There's an entire community of individuals wanting to make a meaningful decision in their health, just like you. This is what makes group fasting so powerful and why I'm joining in on Prolon's January Longevity Challenge, which is a coach-led program to set you up for fasting success. Prolon's fasting mimicking diet is a revolutionary plant-based nutrition program that nourishes the body while making cells believe they're fasting. I got all 5 boxes here, and I'm starting day 1 tomorrow. It's researched and developed for decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by leading US medical centers. It helps promote healthy blood sugar, enhanced skin appearance, fat loss, and improved energy and focus. It all starts with their 5-day program, which contains snacks, soups, and beverages designed to keep the body in a fasting state. No guesswork or planning required, which is a relief after a busy holiday. If you guys are ready to make 2025 your healthiest year yet, order your Prolon 5-day kit at prolonlife.com/DSH. And they're offering Digital Social Hour listeners 15% off their 5-day nutrition program. Use the code DSH at prolonlife.com/DSH.
The best interest. So why would you leave your kids with them the majority of the day? Because this is what the good parent does. And that's what they have put into people. It's to society, really. They put it into the heart and mind of people that they know what's best. And it's a lie. Yeah.
I don't think the mindset should be to rely on the government for anything, honestly.
Absolutely.
Maybe just safety when it comes to military. But other than that,
And, it depends on, this is like with this administration, why I'm so happy that we have who we have, coming into office, because they are concerned about borders. They're concerned about our military, not just protecting our border, but our men.
Yeah.
When you have an administration who doesn't care about borders or our military, then we can be concerned about if they're making the right safety decisions. But that's
Absolutely.
A side note.
You mentioned school earlier. Did you send your kids to public school?
I have never set them in school a single day.
Wow. All
never.
8 of them?
All 8 of them.
So you knew from early on, because I feel like this is a newer movement where parents aren't doing that.
I didn't know. My mom was only 14 when she had me. And so I was born on the wrong side of the tracks, and from a family that is still today having kids in their teenage years. So I also have a foundation, Mother of Change Foundation.
Yep.
And a Mother of Change is a chain breaker and a change maker. And so I've kind of combined 2 TV shows, Mother of Change show and a foundation, and Ignite Voices. So one show is for the mothers who are struggling, to give them, hope, to give them some help. But then we have Ignite Voices, which is going to the individual people to give them information to make sound choices. So when I was younger and having these kids, I made one decision. I'm going to have kids. I'm going to protect them. And when I raise them, we're going to do the same for others. And we're going to help other families to be informed and to be aware, to be connected, and to go out and make this whole movement of families who are connected and united.
Yeah. What's your strategy when it comes to social media regulation with your kids?
So my younger kids do not have a phone. My oldest son, who is now 22, who's a rocket engineer, started to fly a plane before he ever drove a car. He did not have he had a flip phone until he was 21.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, where my kids don't play video games, if they play video games, all of them have really high accolades, every single one of them, and have broken world records on different things.
Well done.
And we've done that not because I'm some great. I want to tell the parents out there, I'm not some super intelligent woman. I'm just a woman who sees my kids' gifts, gives them the right tools. It's all about giving them the right tools, and they have all soared in each of their callings, and they're all different. I don't care what they do for school, as long as they can read, write, and do arithmetic. Then they do all kinds of fun stuff that helps them learn. So
nice. That's a smart strategy rather than just a cookie cutter strategy.
Yeah. Who cares if they can pass a test if they're not going to remember it? Remember that show, Smarter Than Their Fifth Grader?
Yeah. That was a good show.
When I watched that show, I threw out the whole curriculum idea, and I was like, these adults who are now successful don't remember what the 5th graders. So why do I even care what they're learning if it's not going to benefit them?
Yeah.
So now, one of my sons, when he was 13, was one of the youngest AWS certified individuals in the world, and that was because he just spent time doing what he loves.
Yeah.
And so instead of video games, they do programming to learn how to build planes and engineering, and actually build video games as opposed to playing them.
Wow, that's impressive. Mm-hmm. And were you homeschooling them, or?
So all my kids can do things I cannot do. So like I said, it wasn't me being the teacher. I say, you can read. This is how I raise my kids. I teach them to read, and then I say, you're the teacher. Okay, I'm just here to answer some questions and give you the tools. You teach yourself. And so all my kids are completely 100%. I had a kid who at 7 in prayer, I heard to get him into organic chemistry.
Yeah.
Okay. gave him the right tools. In 6 months, he was assessed at a Harvard level, college level of a 25-year-old at 7 years old of organic chemistry. Never had a tutor. And I'm telling you, it's because each one of us is wired. It's not what you teach me. It's about what I need to learn.
Yeah. And think about the head start these kids are getting, because instead of 22 years of school where they're getting set back, you're starting them at 7 years old. I mean,
oh yeah. Like, so my kids, when I found out they could graduate early, I had 2 kids graduate at 16. One got herself into Liberty University at 16.
Wow.
And you know what? The reason I graduated her earlier is because she hated high school and she didn't really want to do the work. And she was a great entrepreneur, was closing, like $10,000 sales deals. And I was like, you're an entrepreneur. You want to graduate. You're not doing great at it. Do you want to, who says that? You're not doing great at it. Do you want to graduate? And I said, are you ready to go to the next level? And I said, just if you can test out for this math and you can do the SAT or whatever, requirements. I gave her some requirements, then you can graduate. And this is the funny thing is she didn't want to do school. High captain girl. Okay. At 16, I graduated her. And within 2 months, all of a sudden she said she wanted to get into college. And I was like, I thought you didn't even like school, but it was because she made the decision, because I didn't force her to do school. She wanted to now do school. And I didn't do any of the paperwork. She got herself into Liberty University, just told me what to do. She's a teacher. I'm the assistant, and gave her the right documents. And she got herself into Liberty University at 16. That's
phenomenal. Yeah, I'm glad the judgment's changing around homeschooling and private schooling.
Absolutely.
Because before, when I was growing up, you would get really judged and ridiculed. It's probably still like that a little bit, but it's changing for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it is. And that's the cool thing is that, and you don't have there's no more cookie cutter for what a homeschooler looks like anymore. Now people after 2020, with remote schooling is what they were calling it. It's homeschooling. It's remote, but it's not crazy anymore.
I just had Erica Donalds on yesterday. She's doing VR schooling for kids she knows.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't gone that, I haven't looked in that. I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. But I mean, if it's working for a family, I wouldn't ever put it down.
I think anything's better than public school.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, not that my kids wouldn't probably, I'm not going to say, they might end up doing it. I thought EmmaSara said, I don't know. I'm open.
Yeah. What's next for you?
I'm sorry.
What's next for you? What's planned?
What's next for me this next year? We're just going to go hard with our TV show, growing our following. We have network deals we're already on networks, but we're just growing Ignite Voices TV. My sons are 6 to 22. So we have entrepreneurship. So one of my 18-year-olds, he has a job, but he just launched his own company and, made his cash this month, which was exciting. And I have another son who is he's building airplanes. So he just started and launched that. So right now, my focus as a parent, is to help my kids excel in there. And this is what you guys need to know is that I'm talking about unity in 2025. You don't have, and this is the thing is you don't have to make your kids do things, right? You can do things together that are like a passion. Okay. So we come together and I tell them, what is your passion? We have a mission statement for our family. We work with high energy and integrity to provide resources and tools for life, right? And so everything we do that's the united place that we're doing. But then each one of them they're individuals. I'm not trying to make them just stay and do what EmmaSara is doing. So what I want to tell parents is your kids can flourish. They can build their own companies. They can have their own kingdoms when they get married. But it's so beautiful that they'll always have something together united. So that way, their kids will have something united. So this is like I wouldn't say the side thing because it is really main, but at the same time, I'm giving my sons the ability to do things on their own. So we're going to come together as a family, take the resources and tools to give to families to be united and undivided. And I really would love to get on a TED Talk this next year and just give this message, like who told you that education was the best for your child and you really can do it. Yeah. If EmmaSara can get all this great results, anybody can, because I'm not patient. My kids are way smarter than I am. And, and if they say, well, it's great, you must have a lot of cash. When we have a whole testimony. Okay. We made $26,000 in 2018 for a family of 10. We were in the desert. We were in an RV, like a whole calamity happened to our family. Everything was stripped from us overnight. So everything we built is since 2019, like everything that we have built. And so during that time, my son got like $200 plane lessons when we were broke. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. So we just kept on looking for opportunities for our kids to learn. And people want your kids to grow and learn. So you get connected with other people who want to sow into your kids as well. And so that's my real, what's next? It's not even about me. It's about what our family's going to do for everybody else. George Washington Carver said, he wanted to be the greatest good to the greatest amount of people. And so what's next for me is to be the greatest good to the greatest amount of people. And we're doing that through Ignite Voices and through the Mother of Change Foundation.
Beautiful. We'll link the foundation and the show below. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
They can find me at ignitevoices.com. Right.
Perfect.
Thank you.